Hello and welcome back to AOR Season 13 here on the PS4 platform. This is round number 3 at the Chinese Grand Prix. We had an absolute fabulous one last time out at the Bahrain Grand Prix with race-long battles, and so we're very excited to be back here for round number 3 finally. I'm Aarava as usual, and joining me in the commentary box this time round is Callum.
Hello, I'm finally back. It almost feels like I'm welcoming myself back to this league because it's. I was thinking about it the other day. I made these highlights all the way back in Season 7 and alongside Tom, so it's very, very strange for me to be sat here just commentating and just looking at the POVs, but I've absolutely loved the start of the season so far. Australia and Bahrain, some incredible racing, and I'm really excited to be commentating here for the Chinese Grand Prix.
Yeah, and a good one to join. China, we know on this game on F1 2016, has actually become quite a great race circuit for racing on the game at least. I'm not too sure about real life, but in the game for sure, it's been a good one. The tyres available are the super soft, medium, inters and wet, so plenty of different strategies can be played up here. And, you know, with that long back straight, we also know how good the slipstream is, so it should be a pretty good one. Season's 12 winner was Pele, which is quite surprising to see, you know, stark contrast in performance for the start of the season for him. In Bahrain, and the Season 12 pole was Nervatank, no surprise there, so we'll have to see how it goes this time round in Season 13. Let's head over, without further ado, to the qualifying comparison.
Here we are for the qualifying comparison of the AOR PS4 F1 League around China, with the Jim Nervatank and Jamie995 giving us a tour around this circuit, starting off with a never-ending right-hander of turn 1 into turn 2, second gear, and then keeping it there for the tight left-hander of turn 3, and then back on the power through turn 4. Really tricky here, even in the dry, but especially in these rainy conditions, with both drivers controlling that very nicely indeed. And now going into the heavy braking zone for turn 6, Nervatank with a slight advantage through the first sector. Hitting the apex nicely in second gear for Nervo and first gear for Jamie, controlling the oversteer once again, short shifting slightly up through the gears. Into the high speed corners of turns 7 and 8, have to lift a lot more here in the wet than you do in the dry. Putting the car pretty much in the middle of the circuit, just flick it back right, keeping it quite tight to the curb to line up turn 9 with a wide entry. Again, getting the car turned in nicely. You want to get most of the turn done before you get back on the power. You still have to accelerate while turning a little bit, and then there is a very short break before the next braking zone for turn 11, and still Nervatank has a slight advantage after sector 2. Can he keep that though through these next couple of corners? Is very tricky through here. Slow speed in second gear, and then the most difficult traction zone on the circuit. Constantly turning while you try to get back on the power. You have to be really, really patient on the throttle pedal, especially in these conditions. But when you finally get it done, you have a nice long break to line yourself up for the next braking zone. Obviously no DRS on this straight in the wet conditions, so they'll be approaching this corner with less speed than usual, but obviously with much longer braking distance because of the weather. Both drivers hitting the apex nicely through there, and then back on the power once again. Nervo controlling a slide. So now we've got one corner remaining on the lap. They'll be very precise through here, do not cut or extend. Nicely done for both of them, and Nervatank will get to the line first to take pole position for the Chinese Grand Prix, with only 1/10 ahead of Jamie.
So thank you very much to Fisi for that qualifying comparison, and now here is the grid for the Season 13 Chinese Grand Prix. Jim Nervatank takes pole position in the wet conditions, the first wet conditions we've seen so far this season, in his Mercedes with a 1:47.0, with Jamie lining up on the front row alongside him. A very impressive performance from Jamie, getting second place, just over a tenth behind. With Ferrari fan, another guy that's impressing so far in this qualifying session, all the way up in third with 2 tenths behind. With Nardi X team also in P4, just under 3 tenths behind. Now row 3 is taken up by Shelley and J Form, both 3 tenths and 4.5 tenths behind respectively, with Qualy and Aarava in 7th and 8th position, with Alex and Clarkey rounding out the top 10 with both 6 and 7 tenths behind. And then taking a look below the bottom 10, you can see that RBOS, quite a surprise to see him out of the top 10. He is 7 tenths behind, with Wallen, another guy that started in the top 10 last time out, lining up in P12, with Pele, the guy who won last time out, all the way down in unlucky number 13th, 9 tenths behind, with a huge surprise from Ali K, all the way down in P14. Clearly the intermediate conditions really not to his liking, with H Racing Green line up in 15th and Big C in 16th, with I Super Scrub in Isaba 1.3 seconds off the pace, with both Haasers of I Am Loki and Walsh to round out the grid for the Chinese Grand Prix.
Right, so here we are. It is race time. It's the Chinese Grand Prix for round 3 of Season 13. We've had 2 absolutely awesome races so far this season, and I don't imagine this one's going to be any worse, really, especially at China. We know how good it can be on this game, and we've got overcast conditions at the moment, and with a very mixed up grid, really, with a few faster people down the order after that intermediate qualifying. It should be a very good few opening laps here, Callum, but strategy-wise, it's a little bit mixed up here.
Well, yeah, everyone qualifying on the intermediate tyres. That opens up the whole grid to a free choice of tyres. So we'll see a lot of the soft and medium tyres to be used. I would very much doubt that we'll see any super soft tyres be used at any point during this race, just because of the fact that they'll degrade way too quickly around long corners, such as this corner, turn 1, and also in the middle sector and going onto that back straight. So more than likely, we'll see either a 1 or 2 stop strategy, possibly a soft, then medium, or just one stop of a soft and medium. But the qualifying has really put the whole field kind of on a level playing field with this free choice of tyre.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be very, very interesting. Not the standard, you know, everyone's on the same tyre in the top 10 for the opening lap. So we've got a lot of runners that may be trying something different. You know, people like Ali K, perhaps not too sure what tyre he's on exactly at the moment. Hopefully we'll see a little bit earlier on as they form up the grid. But you have people like Ali, RBOS, you mentioned Callum earlier in the qualifying, you know, breakdown, that are going to want to try and make their way back through. But in contrast, Nervotank, the man who seemed very, very comfortable at Bahrain after initial poor qualifying for him. You know, he's stuck it on pole here, looking comfortable as ever, and I imagine it should, well, for his sake, hopefully, it should be a pretty straightforward one. But it is overcast, so I don't know. I don't want to kind of test some faith here, but hopefully we maybe get some rain here. I mean, we saw the first bit of rain in qualifying, so it'd be great to see some in the race, really change things up and maybe give some other drivers a chance to shine. We know people like RBOS are known for being good in the wet from Season 12, so we'll have to see. But there's Ali K. He is indeed on the medium tyres, so he'll be going a little bit longer, whereas we've got some front runners on soft tyres. So as they go down that back straight, obviously this very famous back straight on this game, Callum, we all know how good the slipstream is on this game, so this is probably going to be prime position for a lot of overtakes.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of manoeuvres going down here, going along this DRS line and really attacking into the braking zone. And we'll see, because it's very interesting, Nervotank up at the front, he doesn't have his rear gunner. Maybe that's a blessing in disguise, because Mercedes, they won't be tripping over each other in the pit stops. But also it's nice to have a rear gunner just to be defending and also just battling with the guys behind you, just generally slow them down. But I really won't put it past Ali K to be really powering for the field, along with RBS as well. We're going to see a lot of overtakes, so it's going to be. I think it's really going to put the drivers to the test, because there's a lot of sweeping corners, so we could see some very interesting battles, maybe going side by side through the sweeping corners.
Yeah, for sure. So as you can see, the grid is lining up, and we're going to psych ourselves up here for 28 laps around the Shanghai circuit for round 3 of Season 13. 2 rounds have gone, and it's been absolutely amazing. And now we're going to go to round number 3 at the Chinese Grand Prix. So here we go. We're going to get underway here on board with Nervotank as we line up and we get ready for those 5 red lights to the Chinese Grand Prix. The 5 red lights go out and we're underway, and it's a bit of a sluggish start there, a little bit from Nervotank. Wheel spin to deal with. He goes cutting across the front of the McLaren. Jamie, obviously a great qualifying for him. Around the outside swoops. Ferrari fan in the Force India though. What can he do around the outside? Looks like Jamie will have it covered off for second place. They go into turn 2, and you can see the Williams car of Nardi X team also getting the action there, going side by side with Shelley in the manner, but it's all calm for Nervotank up front at the moment, followed by Jamie, then Ferrari fan, then you got Nardi X team in 4th place, Shelley in 5th, the 2 Red Bulls 6th and 7th there of Jaythorn and Aresi. So Aresi behind his teammate, surprisingly. Then we've got RBOS making a move round the outside. Lovely little move there, round the outside of Alex, and then potentially going down the inside, then doing a bit of a Sebastian Vettel move here, down the inside on the medium tyres, and trying to get the elbows out. Just doesn't quite work on Wooly there in the manner. But as we mentioned, you know, these guys on medium tyres trying to get as hard as they can, trying to push as hard as they can, because people like here, as we go on board with Ali, trying to just about get away from Walsh. Walsh makes a very big dive. Oh my god! Super scrub been spun round at the beginning of this race, so it's all kicking off here. But these medium tyre runners, if they can really get up the order, they're going to be in prime position for later on this Grand Prix, Callum.
Yeah, I was literally going to mention that it's been a very, very clean start, apart from that little incident, but very, very crucial that Nervotank got. He got a sluggish start, and he's pulling all the way to the left-hand side, the right-hand side for them. But as we look at it on the left, he's trying to break that slipstream. We're going to see a lot of that, as we have now got Nardi X trying to go side by side with Ferrari fan. He's got the cutback underneath the Force India. I think they're going to go side by side into the final corner. We've got a Manor out the background. I think that was Shelley getting all crossed up in the background, but Nardi X is comfortably ahead of Ferrari fan at the moment. But again, once again, I'm loving this. Seeing a lot of break in the slipstream. They're trying to just get any sort of advantage into going to turn one. But like you said, Aaron, with the medium tyre runners, you need very, very crucial couple of manoeuvres, because at the start, that is where you can pick up all the positions. Now they're going to have to settle in, and if they're going for that one-stop strategy, they're going to have to look after them tyres and really tiptoe as they're trying to make up a few positions in this race.
Yeah, for sure, and that's definitely not something like Wooly's looking to do, because he's kind of nipping at the heels of RBOS there, and the other Renault, Alex here, on board. Maybe he might try and move. Yes, he does, down the inside. Lovely little move here, and can he pull it off on the exit off the corner? Looks like Wooly will get a better exit, though, because they have a better line, but is he going to get it? He's going to stick it down the inside. They go side by side through the S section. Is Alex going to hold it through this entire time? I think he will. It's going to be very, very close in the mirrors and on the proximity arrow there, but I think Wooly is putting up a great defence here, and he'll just about get it. Yeah, he will have the inside line there, so Alex, he tried his best there, and it's not going to quite work. So for now, it's Wooly in 9th, and it's going to be the Renault sandwich for him. Up ahead, we look at Nardi X team. We also already mentioned Callum obviously breaking the slipstream. I wonder, as we go down this back straight yet again, they're going to be breaking the slipstream. Basically, they're all going to be mini Fernando Alonso's, really, kind of just, you know, weaving side to side, trying to be as clever as they can, breaking the toe, while not trying to be too aggressive on moving too many times under braking. But here we're on board with Jamie. He's actually going to brake a little bit early, actually, and Nardi X team may have a little bit of a pinch around the outside. Didn't quite work there. Jamie just keeping it calm, and then further back we've got I'm Loki being dive bombed down the inside by the season 12 race winner in the Force India. There's some Pele there, up into 13th place. Great move for him down the inside. Nervo Tank set to fast up the Grand Prix, and behind him we've got whole gavel cars slipstreaming each other, trying to close up, and the top four seeming like they're getting away, really. So top four seem like they may break away.
Yeah, the top four, as we see Ferrari fan just to run a little bit deep into turn one. I think the slipstream might have affected his braking going into turn number one. But as you can see at the moment, the top four are still very close together. Well, now the top three, as Ferrari fan has dropped back a little bit. But it does seem to be that Ferrari fan is, well, obviously starting to drop off, might drop back into that field. But Nervo Tank, as we run on board with him now, he seems to be struggling to pull away from the field at the moment, and this might be down to the slipstream. So he's going to have to make some incredible work in this sector, such as the middle sector, and also for the high-speed corners. I think he might have to take a little bit out of these tyres just to try and get that gap and break the DRS at the moment. But I think even the slipstream is effective a little bit further back from 1 second, as we see J Thorne, actually no, this is Aresi, making a manoeuvre on Ferrari fan as he goes up the inside in just before going into this third sector, and that was a nice little manoeuvre there, and Ferrari fan seeming to be struggling on these soft tyres.
Might come back to bite him though. This might come back to bite Aresi, because Ferrari fan's going to get that great slipstream down here. There goes Aresi to the right hand side trying to break the toe. Ferrari fan unusually not opting to follow him to get the slipstream, just pure DRS, but maybe he's kind of realised that maybe he's not got the pace in sectors 1 and 2 potentially, so he's just holding back and trying to protect his tyres. And you know, as you mentioned, overtake maybe. Oh my God! Alex down the inside, slammed into the side of the Manicar, and Clarkey's come out of nowhere now to take 2 positions. He probably wasn't thinking about that. I wasn't even thinking about that. Alex coming out of nowhere, making a very, very odd move on Wooly there. Probably getting a little bit impatient, perhaps. We saw him try and overtake the Manicar earlier on the last lap 3, and so now is Wooly, I think, probably let through back by Alex. There's a bit of a sportsmanship between the two drivers there. Good to see. So probably Alex getting a little bit impatient there. Just tried a bit too early. But going back to my earlier point, what I was just about to say was, Nervo Tank, probably for all drivers, it's going to be a fine line of, do they take life out of the tyres to actually get that gap to break that slipstream on toe, or are they really just going all for that one-stop strategy that many may be trying today for the soft to medium or medium to soft? It's going to be on a knife edge, I think, really. Yeah, all race long, we'll be probably coming back to that. But as we speak about that, Nervo Tank is starting to build a gap to Jamie, who does seem to be holding up Nardi X team. So let's see if there's any sort of manoeuvre going down this back straight. But Jamie, after a very impressive qualifying, maybe we might see him sink through the field. Let's hope that he can stay in these podium positions. But you can also see the 2 Red Bulls are really starting to come into play now. J Thorne has got ahead of Ferrari fan as well. So the 2 Red Bulls might be complete podium contenders towards the end of this Grand Prix. But as we go down this back straight now, can Nardi X get anywhere near the McLaren driver? Jamie goes to the inside of the circuit, and that means that the Williams driver has to go to the outside. They go side by side. Look at the speed
speed of that Williams with the DRS open. He's a little bit locked up though, going into the hairpin. They go side by side. Jamie doesn't seem to capitalise fully on the mistake from the Williams drivers, so as they go into the final corner, I think NardiX team has now got that second place. He can start to hunt down the race leader at the moment, but hopefully Jamie, maybe he can get past sometime soon. But you can see, look how close the field is still. Then Rebels are very much there, and also if Ferrari fan can get his act together, he can maybe still contend to maybe get a podium this afternoon.
Yeah, very, very close indeed. But there goes NovaTank in first place, NardiX team second, Jamie third, Aresi in fourth place, Thorn fifth place, Ferrari fan in sixth, RBOS in seventh there. So that's the top seven. But we're going to cut to a replay now of Wallen. And oh no, what a shame for him. It looks like a bit of a jump start, tiny jump start really, because literally a second there. Very, very unfortunate for Wallen. And he's got a penalty. I'm not too sure if any lag was involved. We know it could be a possibility there. We're now on board with Jay Thorne. We know he's had a bit of a topsy-turvy season so far, crashing out Australia, then having a bit of a kind of half and half race at Bahrain, being pipped at the end there at Bahrain. But he had a pretty okay start going down the inside. Maybe tries to feed it down the inside. Very, very opportunistic. Tries to go down the inside, NardiX team. Not going to work. Then he gets blocked off by Shelley, who's looking behind his mirrors. Does a good enough job to block off into turn two. And then this is the move. Alex. It looked like at the time that Alex just made a bit of an opportunistic move, but it actually looks like now, from that maybe the Manukar of Wooly got held up by a fight ahead of him, and Alex just was breaking at a normal point, and it just all came to a head there, unfortunately for him. And then we saw on the next straight, clearly probably I think lifts off, or just, yeah, lifts off there. Bit of sportsmanship, great to see. Obviously he didn't mean to slam into the back of Wooly there, so lets him through. Nice to see there. But now we move back on board with Ali, the second Mercedes car. He goes down the inside at the same time as I'm Loki goes down the inside, probably defending from Desimpele there, I think. So Ali in the second Mercedes, obviously in stark contrast to his teammate in the wars here, really, in P13, trying to make his way up the order. And then we move back to second place here. NardiX team, we haven't seen too much of NardiX team so far this season. He's part of the kind of Jim clan, I guess you could say, along with NovaTank and Jim Aresi as well. And we thought, you know, quite big things for him. We knew he was a bit of unknown, new to season 13 and AOR, but it looks like now, season, round 3, this is where he's trying to announce himself. And so far, doing a good job, Callum. I think he's getting away a little bit from Jamie, a little bit of a lock up there into that sector 2, but it looks like he's getting a bit of a gap to Jamie, and Jamie just looks like he's falling into the clutches of Aresi.
Yeah, he's doing exactly what he needs to at the moment. He's not obviously fully pulling away from Jamie at the moment. I think it's only slight margins here and there, but if you can just nail this middle sector, he can maybe get a bit of a gap. But he also needs to be very aware of that Red Bull, because with the slipstream, and also we could also possibly see them go 3 wide down this back straight with cars in such close proximity. As you can see the Force India in the background of Ferrari fan. A lot of cars are really pushing the limit, obviously with a little bit of lag involved from the replay camera, but they're all pushing their tyres quite a bit so far at the start of the season. But let's see what happens going down this back straight. There is quite a little bit of a gap between the Williams and McLaren at the moment, but as you can see, we'll just see the little DRS flaps open as we go over the line. Will we see any sort of overtaking business going into this hairpin? As we can see that the McLaren of Jamie's going to go up the inside. Not much defending from NardiX team, as he once again, he's gone quite far off the circuit actually. So he has dropped 2 positions as he tries to overtake 1. He's actually lost 1. So he has dropped down to P4, and now Aresi has moved up into P number 3. So we've already seen quite a lot of people that braking themselves. So seemingly quite on the knife edge going into the braking zone, and a lot of these drivers really pushing their brakes so far at the start of this race.
Yeah, I think they know obviously how powerful the slipstream is down that back straight, so it's such a crucial brake point to get right, and obviously pushing the limits there. And speaking about the limits, Aresi literally tapping the gearbox of that Williams car, not even the gap there, literally just tapping it, giving a little bit of a love kiss there, trying to get uber close. I don't know, maybe there's some extra slipstream you get that close. But so Aresi now trying to get a move on, obviously handed the position effectively there from Jamie locking up on the previous lap, and so now he wants to get a move on. You can see NovaTank already starting to look quite familiar like Bahrain, just in a bit of as well as zone. Obviously when you're there, you got that space, you can kind of concentrate on saving the tyres. So that's perfect for the NovaTank really. Now he can concentrate on making that one-stop work, potentially the soft to the medium tyres, whereas these guys, especially NardiX team now, getting all out of shapes there through sector 2, having to do some defending here, and it looks like Aresi's got a good enough exit actually. Could he go down the inside? Not too sure if it's the camera angle. No, it isn't. Aresi is down the inside. It's a beautiful move there. Very early move, but this, again, as I mentioned before, may come back to bite him though, because we know just how how good it is. So it's actually kind of unfortunate if you make the move there, because you may be more susceptible to the overtake. And you can see very aggressively, Aarava moves to the right-hand side of the circuit. Nardi X Team's going to follow his slipstream, and Jamie's going to try and get a bit of a longer toe. He does have DRS there, so all of them within 1 second. And here goes Nardi X Team down the inside, diving down the inside, locking up a little bit, going a little bit deep, and Aarava does a beautiful little switchback move, and they all go side by side through that exit, and looks like Aarava's not getting the best traction point, so Nardi X Team comes back at him, and so the two of them swap positions left, right, and centre there, and Aarava may get an even better run. Yes, he is. So on to lap 8, Aarava gets it back into second place. Jamie comes out of nowhere now against Nardi X Team, trying to feed around the outside, goes a little bit wide. We know how torturous this turn 1 is on the tyre, so Jamie trying to take a wide line to maybe get a bit of a cutback, doesn't quite work out, so he sticks behind in 3rd place there. But those two going hammer and tong, absolutely awesome to watch, Callum.
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. It just goes to show how a good move can be undone so easily going down that back straight. At the moment, Aarava is still holding on to that 2nd place, but you can see just once. Actually, there's still a bit of a gap behind the Force India, but I thought there'd be a bit more of a train like actually going down the back of the field. But Jamie at the moment, I kind of feel like he's biding his time, because I think he's letting these two go at it, which might be quite a clever strategy, because he can see Novotank currently leading at the moment. If he does want to challenge him at some point during this Grand Prix, he's going to have to look at after his tyres. And you can see perfect here, run on board with Big C, whose tyres are at 40% worn. He's currently started on the medium tyres, so that's quite a bit of...
I was going to say... surprising.
Yeah, oh, and light rain.
Light rain.
So as you said at the start of the race, Aarava, the rain is coming to
change everything.
And that's going to fall into the hands of, I'd like
all
to
the
think,
soft runners.
The soft runners. I think the medium tyres runners are going to be a little bit annoyed at that announcement, because they feel like they're going to start on the wrong tyre.
Yeah, people like this. Ali K in 11th place, slipstream I'm Loki. He's going to be very annoyed, maybe, that the rain's going to come at the kind of wrong time, perhaps. Also, on the flip side, maybe actually saying that, though, maybe this might favour the medium tyre runners. You never know, because Destin Pelly, as he goes down the inside, these soft tyre runners, looks like they're having their tyres wear out quite a bit. So maybe, actually, the medium tyre runners may be better off just as the rain starts to fall down. You know, slippery track surface, already worn soft tyres. You can see Destin Pele trying to go still side by side with I'm Loki there, just doesn't make it. So Destin Pele, season 12's race winner, not got the pace at the moment compared to the top 10, just about. He's just hanging on in the top 10, but it looks like he's really trying to get down the inside. Maybe tries to pinch. No, I'm Loki slams that door shut in his face there as they go into turn 2. And then we've got Nardi X Team. Has he made a pit stop? He's made a very early pit stop here, I think.
He's put on mediums. Why has he done that?
Has something gone on? Has he spun it?
What we literally just said about the soft tyre runners struggling.
Yeah, maybe that's come to fruition. I don't know.
Maybe it's completely inverted. We're going to see a replay.
This isn't a replay of him. No, this is actually further back. This is H Racing Green, the GP2 champion. Alex has had all sorts of shapes into turn 1. And then, oh no, more bad luck for H Racing Green there. He got so unlucky at Bahrain and gets some more bad luck here at China. Goes for a half spin there. Thankfully keeps it out of the barriers for his sake. Big C goes around the outside. And the other Force India, I think, of Destin Pele. And Destin Pele, the one obviously causing that accident, actually. So I think it was one of the Haas cars, I think I should say. And so very, very unfortunate. But getting back to this man, the Spaniard in the Mercedes, that's Novotank, and then the Spaniard in the Williams car. Why on earth has he gone to medium tyres? Very, very odd pit stops. And now we see Jamie comes to pit. So, literally, as we said, Callum, the soft tyres really actually may not be that great. Maybe they're very, very warm. We saw Big C's at 40%. So, we haven't seen yet the percentage of these soft tyres. Unfortunately, from any of these drivers, they're not wanting to show it. But maybe they're completely gone, actually. So, actually, correction. This may play right into the hands of all the medium tyre runners.
And if you look on the left-hand side, Novotank has already made a pit stop as well. So we've got Aarava, obviously we've got the drivers in the pit lane at the moment. So the field is basically going to be swapped upside down. But the likes of Ali K, he is someone to watch in RBOS. I'm not sure what tyres he started on. But we're literally going to see a complete inversion. We're going to see a lot of medium tyre runners now stretch out just these tyres and just see, although it's quite interesting looking at it, why would they have put on a set of medium tyres unless they don't have another set of soft tyres? Because you'd think that they'd put on another set of softs.
That is peculiar, yeah. As we see the two Red Bulls literally head to toe, really, side by side there, as Jaythorn's trying to get the best of Aarava here. So those two aren't going to care about the rain. They're just going to have a straight scrap. And so Aarava goes down to second place, Jaythorn down the inside, but obviously there will be chance for slipstream. But yeah, that is a very good point, Callum. Why wouldn't they strap on a set of softs? If these softs have gone 9 laps, they go another 9 laps. Rain expected in 5 minutes only. It's not that long, so very weird. But yeah, as you said, Aarava down this back straight. Looks like he does. As we're looking on the left-hand side, actually, you can see some spits of rain there going down the front of the chassis. So the rain is starting to come down right now. So that is a very odd choice. If we can see Big C now, Slipstream on the 4-seater Destimpele, both with DRS wide open, actually. Ahead of him is side-by-side action between Alex and I'm Loki. Oh, my... Again!
It's the second time we've seen that this afternoon, or this time I think missing the braking zone quite a bit, but obviously with the rain coming down as well, the grip is ever deteriorating, so these drivers are just going to be put on the limit as well. As you can see, the RBOS is now moving up into P7, obviously started on their medium tyres, struggling into the braking zones, but also it's worth pointing out that Aresi is on mediums. This race should be handed to him. Like, I'm not being funny, but J Thorn on soft tyres, can he stretch out them softs? And even then, both Red Bulls, they're going to be fighting over that pitch. No wonder they're battling.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why J Thorn got that move quite easily. I thought it looked like a bit of an easier give goes. Alex makes a move down. RBOS makes a move down the inside of I'm Loki. We'll get back to what we were talking about before as they go side by side. And RBOS with a very, very aggressive, opportunistic move there. Caught I'm Loki napping, who's got 77% on the left front. As we see also the Ferrari losing the front end there as they go into sector 2. So all these guys now really feeling those tyres, and especially for I'm Loki, that's going to be a little bit kind of pulling the collar a little bit, because that may be close to a puncture stage there on the left front tyres. Maybe Jim Novotank makes a move down the inside of the Haas car. These guys are really gunning for it. They don't care. They're just going for it. As soon as they see a space, they're going for it. They're going to make the move. And so Novotank getting a move on here, maybe sensing that he needs to really punish these mediums. He's got the tyre wear for it, obviously. Really using to good use. So maybe that's why he's been on the mediums. He knows he's got good pace on the medium tyres. He knows he can come back, so he's made the move. He's up into 7th place already. He'll go very defensive there. Swings back the racing line. But going back to what I was trying to say before the Renault made that very audacious move. Maybe that's why Aresi's let J Thorn through quite easily there. Maybe, you know, they know that's their strategy. Maybe J Thorn is going to try his best to stress them out, and Aresi knows that there's no point trying to fight him if he's on mediums, and he's going to go the distance till the intermediate period.
Yeah, time will tell at the moment, but Novotank really trying to push through the field. He's currently in P4, obviously on the medium tyres, so obviously he can take a lot out of them tyres. I think that's maybe why one of the reasons they've gone onto these medium tyres is they know they can punish them. Like there's no even slight murmur or
and RBOS
chance.
has got ahead of Alex actually, Callum, there. So RBOS getting a move on. So he made one earlier aggressive move, so he's already made the move on his teammate. Maybe his teammate is struggling with some tyre wear there, so probably the same thing to Red Bull, maybe being a bit of a rear gunner. But it's going to be a bit of a tough time to be a rear gunner and try and block off Novotank, because he's going to have much better pace. Is he going to try it round the outside into the S section? This should be a pretty easy move, actually. Yes, he does. Just infinitely more grip there as the rain starts to come down, but also he's going to be really feeling the tyre wear for Alex there compared to Novotank, who's on obviously fresh rubber, 3 laps gone on those medium tyres. So Novotank already up into 5th. So actually maybe he's got it under control. Maybe he knows what he's really doing here, and he knows the pace he's got.
Maybe we didn't have a clue what we want about. Let's see what happens. But also, looking on the left-hand side, one of the Red Bulls of Aresi's pit, so he could not take themselves any longer. Obviously, we're going to see what the Haas driver, I think it was Shelley, who was struggling, or I'm not sure what driver was it.
I think in the Manor. I think Shelley's in the Manor. So the Haas driver of Walsh and I'm Loki there. So Novotank goes down the inside pretty easily with DRS, and obviously there's no real point these guys putting up too much of a fight, because they know they're not in this fight with Novotank. Novotank's very much in a different race of his own. Probably racing, I would say. Well, we can see actually, we didn't actually notice it. Yeah, Aresi's made a pit stop. He's not on the left-hand side, on the column. So J Thorn is continuing on. Aresi probably opting, well, I'm guessing at this stage, soft tyres. I'd like to hope, for his sake.
Yeah,
I don't see any point putting mediums now.
Look, the rain's coming down. I don't see why he'd want to put on mediums. With the rain coming down, you'd say to put intermediates on, but into turn 1, Jamie making a manoeuvre on the Haas driver. I think he's on infinitely more grip, and wow, looking at all the way understeering off the circuit, and that allows other drivers through as well. So another mistake we've seen going into turn number 1. But as we look at Jamie now, who's also trying to power through the field after making an earlier pit stop, he was one of the drivers that I believe went onto a set of soft tyres, so he's trying to push his tyres as much as possible. Alex currently sitting in 6th position, acting almost as a rear gunner. As we can see that Nardi X actually has already got past Alex at the moment, and he's trying to power through the field as well. So we're seeing a lot of running very wide of the Williams driver, just trying to use that grip as much as possible, trying to go around the outside. But if you do touch, I think even just going offline, they are going to struggle now. We're going to see a lot of people just sliding off the circuit with the rain coming down. So this is really going to push the drivers to the limit. Are we going to see a manoeuvre from the Williams driver all locked up? And as we see also the Renault of RBOS all locked up going into that corner. Can he go around the outside? I think the Williams will still have DRS. I think the activation point is a little bit earlier.
But I really think, it's as I was about to say, confirmation there on the bottom right, engineer saying it's time for Inters. I think it is definitely time to think about Inters tyres, especially for RBOS. Or Alex, I should say, actually, sorry. Alex, 77% worn on most of his tyres there. Jamie just waltzes past him with DRS, but that's not going to help him under braking into these corners and the slippery conditions. And there you go. There is Shelley, who's in second place, taking those mediums so long. 72% on the front left. Comes in for what will be surely the intermediate tyres. So Shelley really done a good job there. Jaythorn as well, and Ali to take those tyres the long distance there. So we can see as we go down, still not a pit stop for any of these guys. So maybe Shelley gambling a little bit for earlier Inters. Earlier
when he came
into
the pits, I did kind of think it's a little bit early. I'm just looking at this track and it doesn't look wet enough at the moment. It might prove us wrong. Only time will tell. Actually, we can see the Force India Ferrari fan cleverly putting on the super soft tyres. So if he did make quite a late stop, I said that we probably wouldn't see the super softs at all during this Grand Prix, but these sort of conditions, it's perfect to put the super softs on, as they'll be easy to switch on as he now tries to go up the inside of Jamie, makes that position, sticks with Ferrari fan, making a little bit of a resurgence after that earlier kind of drop and slump through the field. He's still going side by side there with Jamie. It allows him the inside line. Wow, his tyres though, he's still taking a lot out of them tyres and super softs, really showing that they are super softs.
That's why we said that no one's going to use super softs. They wear out so fast, so fast here, but it really looks like now it's a test of just most of the guys who have stayed out on mediums at RBOS just skating on ice really around everywhere. And you've got Jamie and Ferrari fan coming through the field. This should be a pretty easy move, I would say. RBOS again going a little bit deep. But obviously at this point he's sort of committed to this strategy. There's no point coming in for a set of other dry tyres. So Jamie goes down the inside of that long right-hander. Very unorthodox place to make the move. And that's just showing how much tyre wear is engaged. And whoa, is this Jaythorn going quite slowly, and probably for good reason. Probably doesn't want to make sure he gets a puncher at the last minute there. Looked like he was going quite slow off that corner. So he's actually made it work on medium tyres. Jaythorn's gone all this way. And now will he be going on Inters? I think he put on softs. Soft tyres? I'm very confused at the moment. So we said rain in 5 minutes, but yeah, he's put on soft tyres. So clearly all these engineers have no idea what they're going on about, because it said rain 5 minutes ago, about 10 minutes ago I think, Callum, and all the drivers think, nah, it's good enough for dry tyres still.
Well, we're right on board with Aresi at the minute, who's on the medium tyre, and he's on the back of the horse of I Am Loki,
who's on
the set of intermediates. And I have a feeling that this rain shower, this light rain, was light, to say the least, but also very short, it seems to be, because that was an easy manoeuvre, and these intermediates don't seem to be working at all, so maybe... I'm a little bit speechless at the minute, seeing him put on a set of soft tyres.
This is a big head scratcher. This is a very big head scratcher. I have the first time ever, I think, Callum, we are absolutely stumped at what's going on here.
I can't really
absolutely
work out.
Stumped. So we've got, anyway, we'll just carry on and see what happens, really. Quite exciting, actually, not knowing what's going on here now. We've got Jaythorn round the outside, so close, and too close for comfort. Makes contact with the left front there. I was about to say you could fit a piece of paper between those two cars. Literally made some contact there then on the left front tyre, went for a half spin. Unfortunate Jaythorn. And then here, somehow it's a 1-2 for Mercedes. You know, you wouldn't have thought it with Ali K down the order. But here goes probably one of the easiest moves in the known universe. Nova Tank up into first place, Ali K down to second, both drivers on medium tyres. Ali K on the same set of mediums he's been since the start of the Grand Prix. Nova Tank now feeling the lack of grip as he goes a little bit deep into that corner, but obviously, as we mentioned before, Ali K at this stage of the season, you've got to say a rear gunner for Nova Tank, so he's not going to put up much of a fight. They're just going to continue on, and that's perfect for them, being 1-2 at the moment. And as we look down the order, there's Ferrari fan super softs, then Jamie soft tyres. Behind them is that's this Ferrari fan now, and we can see the Renault came to the pit. I think that's RBOS who ducked into the pit just behind me, and the Haas car there I could see flashing by. There's RBOS. He's coming in, and it looks like he's going to be in on the soft tyres as well. So yeah, as you said, Callum, I think very much just a little sprinkle, little spurt of rain, but not enough to warrant going on full Inters, I wonder. I don't know.
But they have got Inters there for some reason. There's Inters in the bottom right corner, but they're putting on a set of softs, and he's actually having a front wing change, so he's picked up.
And Clarkey is on Inters.
What on earth is going on?
The drivers can't make up their minds, the engineers can't make up their minds, and the commentators can't make up their minds. It's all rather entertaining at the moment. We have no clue. This is when F1's at its best, when you have no idea what is really going on, and it's a complete wide open race, I would say, at this stage, Cam. I don't even think the two Mercedes cars can be safe at this stage.
I'd love to know what Ali's tyres are on. They must be absolutely screaming. And also Ferrari fan, I bet his super softs is absolutely screaming as well. He's going to be hating himself putting on a set of super softs in the middle stint. You want to be on a tyre that's obviously soft enough that can give you performance even in slippery conditions, but you also want a tyre that takes you as long as you can so that you can make your decision and when you come into the pits at any point and not lose out on performance. But we're currently looking at Jaythorn at the minute, who's on the back of Big C. Obviously, the Big C on the set of mediums, Jaythorn on a fresh set of soft tyres who's just come out of the pit lane. Another manoeuvre we're seeing going onto the back straight, not actually on the back straight, as we see Ali K, who's lost a position to the Williams of Jim Nardi.
It's still raining though.
It's still raining. This is what I can't get over. And look at the grip. And we definitely know that Ali's coming into the pit lane because he's asked his team. He told his team box his slab. Can he do a Lewis Hamilton? No, he just about keeps it. But he's putting on a set of intermediate tyres.
So I think what's happened here now, I think I'm starting to figure it out. I think a lot of people have gone very, very early, jumped the gun a little bit, and there was still enough pace on the dries, on the slicks, to warrant making an extra pit stop onto the slick tyres. I think that's what's gone on, because I think a few people maybe second guessed it, like we mentioned with, I think that first stopper was Shelley, wasn't it? Onto the Inters, I think came in early for an early pit stop. So I think that's maybe what's gone on here. Very unusual, kind of like a Brazil 2012 almost. Like it looks wet, but it's still good enough for the slick tyres. And so we see Jamie on a set of softs, currently in third place there. Trying to catch up to 90X team. We've got no further action between car number 4, Destin Pele, and car number 63, H Racing Green, causing collisions. So that was obviously that turn 1 incident. That was a bit of a racing incident, obviously. So, you know, half spin for the GP2 champion. And so good to see that. Obviously, the stewards agree. Just racing incident. So it would have been quite unfortunate for either drivers there. And as we can see, a beautiful little drift there from the Mercedes driver of Ali K. And behind him, Destin Pele, also just behind him with a bit of a drift. And the Manukar, Shelley joining in as well. There's Big C on a set of intermediate tyres now, ahead of the medium tyre runner of Ferrari fan. So I'll be interested to see what that pace stacks up, because I think now, I can't even safely say it's time for Inters, but I would like to think honestly, it is now time.
I've just thought about it, because obviously Ferrari fan's just come into the pit lane and he's got rid of that set of super softs and he's put on a set of mediums. So he believes that the track still isn't wet enough for intermediate. So at the moment, we're seeing a very, very strange scenario where we're basically on a knife edge between...
And I want to add, we're lap 17 here, Callum. We've already gone well past halfway through this Grand Prix. Yeah. We've only got 9 laps remaining, and it's still this open in my mind. Like, I just can't tell how this is going to work out. But at the moment, you've got to say Novotank and Nardi X team and Jamie, all 3 of them, the ones that were up front anyway, looking good, having stayed out on their first set of mediums.
Yes, and the DRS has been disabled, so the FIA in the game...
That's usually a time to say it's Inters now.
That's usually the game going, yeah, I think it's about time you come into the pit lane.
Destin Pele comes in, he thinks it's time.
He agrees as well, so as you can see also in the bottom left-hand corner, other drivers in the pit lane as well. So I was going to do a rundown of the field so far, but I think we're going to see it basically be inverted again. We've got a little bit of a battle just outside the top 10 with Willie. We've got other drivers in the pit lane as well. I think we saw the Renault dive off into the pit lane, but still some drivers are still carrying on, so they're ignoring the normal obvious message of the DRS being disabled, as also, and some of them obviously are already on the intermediate tyres, but
some of them
with some people coming into the pit lane so early, them intermediates will be significantly more worn, especially driving them on a dry track. We are going to see quite a difference at the end of the Grand Prix, but Jamie in P3 on a set of intermediate tyres, I think he's the highest Inters runner.
I think the top 3 I mentioned, Novotank and Nardi.
Or have they already come into the pit lane?
I think all 3 of them. That's how good of a job they've done here. They've taken that first pit stop they made onto mediums, took that distance. Jamie obviously took softs. And they've gone that distance, and they've already. I think they've all made their pit stop. I want to say. I want to get confirmation here. Hopefully, we cut on to an RDX team or an Novotank just to get confirmation there. But I think all 3 of them have made it onto the Inters already. So those 3 geniuses at the moment, looks like, really, compared to everyone else in it. Almost looks like maybe then some other people. Oh no, okay, Novotank hasn't made that pit stop yet. So Jamie is. So I think you got that right, Callum. I think Jamie's the first on Inters there in that top 3.
Nardi X team. Top left-hand corner, he's on intermediate tyres, so it's currently Nardi X team I don't know what the gap was between the first and second place runners. We are riding on board with Ali K, who's very, very close to an RDX team at the moment. So huge props to Ali K with that strategy. He's in P3. Bearing in mind he started in P14 and he barely made any positions at all in the first couple of laps. So he's done incredibly well with the strategy.
So he's technically jumped.
Oh yeah,
he's technically jumped Jamie then.
Yeah,
he jumped Jamie.
And also coming out the pit lane, Nervo Tank. He's only just coming outside, and I think Ali K has let off the throttle to allow Nervo Tank just in front. But NARDX team is really being a thorn in the backside for the two Mercedes at the minute. And like I said,
absolutely awesome.
We haven't got many laps to go in this Grand Prix, and the rain is now
awesome. We've only got how many is that? Like 9 laps remaining or something like that. And NARDX team now surprisingly leads this Grand Prix now ahead of Nervo Tank Ali K. Ali K jumped with a 1 lap earlier pit stop to Jamie actually in comparison to the Intu. But yeah, obviously jumped the entire field, but then jumped Jamie there. So Ali's done even better to not only get that far, but then also make that overtaking strategy to get Jamie. But now these three looking very, very close. And so now this is going to have to be a 2-pronged attack from Mercedes maybe to try and get the Williams car of NARDX team. I mentioned before earlier in the commentary, you know, we didn't really know what was going to be of NARDX team. He's part of the group from Nervo Tank and Aresi. Hadn't shown his pace truly in Australia and Bahrain. It looks like right now he's trying to do his best to show what he's got, and will he hold on into this? Obviously DRS is disabled, but that doesn't stop the slipstream still being as powerful as it is down this back straight.
And it also means that them rear tyres will be spinning up an awful lot more than what it is in the dry conditions. So we're going to see probably a few more mistakes. But it's going to be very interesting from the two Mercedes. I think we're going to see Nervo Tank try and make some sort of attack going into the hairpin this time round on lap number 19. He's going to pull to the right-hand side. Interestingly, NARDX team doesn't put up much of a fight against his fellow clan member. Maybe because it's something to do with the clans that they're not going to put up too much of a fight. A huge slide from the pair of them as they come out of the hairpin. But I think Nervo Tank has taken the race lead. Not much of a very interesting battle between the two, but I think we see both drivers also coming out the final corner struggling a little bit. Nervo Tank understeering off the circuit, and I don't know whether the camera angle can show us. I think NARDX team is just a little bit further behind. Nervo Tank defends into turn 1, but the Williams driver is still trying to hold it all the way around the outside. Is there any more grip on that outside line? No, there isn't. Nervo Tank holds first position. Ali K, interestingly, not jumping onto any manoeuvres straight away from this sort of battle at the moment. But can NARDX team come back at him, or will he have to go straight to defensive mode and try and keep the second Mercedes behind?
It's going to be very, very close. NARDX team, as Nervo Tank goes deep a little bit, and NARDX team hacking away at the steering wheel on the exit. All drivers just trying to push the limit of these very tricky conditions, and NARDX team gets right up the gearbox of Nervo Tank. Obviously wants to basically be as close as he can be to that rear end down that back straight, and he's taking a very interesting wide line to try and get the better turn in. Obviously gets a better drive in theory. That's at least what is the case in real life. I'm not too sure how good it is in the game at least, but you can see there Ali K, as you mentioned, Callum, just sitting back a little bit, and I wonder if Ali K is just waiting to maybe see if NARDX team's going to start to struggle eventually. Maybe if Nervo Tank can do a good enough job just to stay ahead, that will just eventually maybe push NARDX team back into Ali K. Doesn't need to make a rash move, can just maybe get it done on pure slipstream. And actually looks like Nervo Tank's got a great exit there, but he'll move to the right hand side to break the toe. All three drivers come to the right hand side, so all kind of following each other in a bit of a slipstream train. To the left now, and looks like NARDX team's going to just about follow through under braking. Very cautious there, and Ali K's really closed up there as well. They all concertina together, and so this is going to be with 7 laps remaining as we go across the line now. As we come through to lap 21 eventually when we cross the line, it's going to be 7 laps of pure tension, I think, because you can see there another little mistake there. NARDX team going a little bit wide, controls it though, so it's going to be really who can keep it on the black stuff, on the tarmac, and who's got the pace. And then meanwhile, Jamie, in a bit of his own world really, in P4, here's hoping he can catch up. I wonder if these three have a big enough fight, Callum, that Jamie could just, you know, just come out of nowhere and maybe make it a 4-way scrap. Yeah,
well, I mentioned at the start of the race, I'd like maybe if Jamie can be in contention from a podium, but it doesn't seem like these three are up for a big enough battle at the moment. I think that all three of them know that if they really fight each other to the death, they're going to be losing so much time, especially in these conditions, sliding through each corner. They know how equal this fight is, but they also know how much time there is to lose. And you can see, I think Jamie's just up the road, so he's in distance, but unless there's any big fireworks between these three drivers, I doubt we'll see Jamie, but let's hope so towards the end of this Grand Prix. But it is also worth noting as well that these tyres, all three sets of tyres, are very, very similar on tyre life. And Nardex team, actually, a great helicopter camera really does show that he's still quite on the back of this Mercedes driver, but obviously we're not going to see him fly past as easily without the DRS being activated. Some argue that that's what DRS should be like. The DRS should just be gone and we should have the raw racing. But on the game, the slipstream will still give a pretty big oomph going down this back straight. Both drivers sliding, going along that banked corner, but as we go down into the hairpin, I don't think we'll see any manoeuvres this lap. But Aarav, it's going to be very tense. Nervotank has got to make literally zero mistakes towards the end of this Grand Prix.
He's under pressure. He's the man under pressure at the moment. And we saw Australia, who he was put under pressure by Resi in round 1. Didn't crack then. Bahrain, he had to come back and make moves, but once he got into that lead, didn't crack. So I just wonder if it's a kind of lost battle with Nardex team's going to try and pressurise him at the moment. I have a feeling maybe Nardex team's just trying to heap the pressure on, but potentially, I don't know. I don't know if he's being that tactical, but maybe just sticking behind, making sure, okay, I can stay in P2, and then right at the death, maybe on the last lap, try and go for that manoeuvre, because obviously if he makes the move for first place, he knows easily there's 2 laps remaining, Nervotank could just easily come back with slipstream. So I don't know if he's going to try that tactic. It looks like at the moment now, I just want to say, I don't know, the gaps look pretty equal, but I would say at some stage I wouldn't be too surprised if Nervotank just gets the foot down and just tries to get that gap, because that's exactly what he did at Bahrain, and he did it so well. And for Ali K, I think at this stage he's just sitting back a little bit, but he's finding his feet, finding the groove potentially. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's then going to get the power down to make that a 1-2 for Mercedes, because that would be an absolutely brilliant thing for the two teammates. I know both of them kind of push each other, especially Ali, obviously with a poor start to the season. I think Nervotank and him really want him to perform so they can get that 1-2 underway. But Ali K at the moment, probably about the same gap as it was last lap, Callum, I would say.
Yeah, the gap seems to be quite equal at the moment. He seems to have dropped back a little bit. It seems in the middle sector that Nardex team's quite strong. As you can see, once again, the gap has closed up between the 2 front runners. So Nardex team seeming maybe running a little bit more downforce, so excelling a lot better in that middle sector. And Ali seems to drop back a little bit, but in the third and first sectors, it seems that Ali just starts to just start a little bit of closing up, and Nardex team maybe with slightly higher wings, struggling in a straight line. But obviously all 3 drivers once again using the right-hand side of the circuit. But if I was Nardex team, and if this theory is true, that he's just sitting back and biding his time, not wasting too much time just battling each other, but waiting until the final couple of laps. He doesn't want to wait too long, because as you said, Aarav, if Nervotank really just go, right, okay, I fancy putting my foot down, Nervotank will be gone, and Nardex team will be kicking himself.
That's exactly what happened to Jamie, unfortunately. I was saying it at Bahrain. Jamie did a very similar thing to that he did earlier on the race, which was sit back from a scrap and not really go for it early on. And at Bahrain, I think it was the tyre wear also kicking in back then in the last round, but he just ran out of laps, really. So here for Nardex team, he doesn't want to run out of laps as well. So we're on lap 23 now, so 5 laps remaining, 4.5 really, as we go on towards halfway. And you can see he's still sliding around, so all 3 of these guys also will be filling tyre wear, so also there may be a stage where maybe he settles for second. I'm not too sure. It's kind of odd. They're kind of all just very much keeping in the same gaps. At least that's the good thing. They're kind of keeping the pressure on each other. No one's falling behind drastically. And I want to see, maybe, hopefully, get a replay or kind of a panning shot of where Jamie is. It was 5.3, I think the gap was last lap. I don't know if Jamie's closed up anymore, but it looks like if you do a running order, I guess, can be a good time to do so. So we've got Nervotank in first place, Nardex in second, Ali K in third, Jamie in fourth, Jay Thorne in the leading Red Bull at fifth place, Resi nowhere to be seen, so very unfortunate of him. Big C in the Ferrari yet again getting up the order with just keeping out of trouble really in sixth place. Clarky, being a bit of a fan favourite really in the comments below in the opening round, seventh place there. Wooly in eighth place, ninth place, so 2 good positions for the Manor team, and Destin Pele in 10th with a really poor showing at Bahrain. Good to see him in the top 10 now here at China. But as we look out at a nice little shot from the rear end of Nervotank, once again, that usual cut to the right, break the slipstream, come back to the racing line, and yet again, Nardex team just pulls right up into the gearbox of Nervotank, and yet again, just unable to do anything, opting maybe not to do anything, not too sure. And then here's Jay Thorne in, I wouldn't say a world of his own. If he makes a mistake here, he will be pressurised by Big C, but just trying to be... Safety car has been deployed, I think. That's by the engineer said. Yes, it is.
I'm low-key.
So what?
He just retired. He must have made some sort of incident. I don't know if you picked up on it, but whilst I was on board with Jay Thorne, we saw that I'm low-key has retired. We might see some sort of replay in a second, but talk about throwing in the spanner in the works. I doubt we'll see any people diving into the pit lane. But this, I've literally just been talking about it. Are we going to wait until the final couple laps to see if there's going to be some sort of overtake? Well, we're going to have to, because the safety car is going to stop all overtaking, and I think we're going to have 2 or 1 just flying laps towards the finish line. And
on the restart, it's going to be crucial. But I mean, if Nardi X team gets a good enough start, he could get on the back of Nervatank straight away. Similarly for Ali K, you could get on the back of Nardi X team, and also now Jamie. I think Jamie, unfortunately, I think there may be a Haskell in between them, so I think Jamie may not gain as much as he would hope to. But for sure, those 3, it's going to be great to see. And you can see Alex opts to come in. Is anyone else? I think there's someone behind him as well. Walsh comes in. So for these guys, they're sensing maybe, as you said, Callum, blitzing last 2 laps, worth putting on a fresh set of inters. I mean, there's no one really right by them on the mini-map you can see in the bottom left, so probably worth for them, because obviously then they'll bunch up with the safety car going for at least 2-3 laps, so probably worth for these guys. I wouldn't say, though, for the top 4-5 almost, because they've got too much to lose, really.
Yeah, it's all about track position, and especially if you're outside the top 10, you may as well. And Jim Aresi, who's really slamming on the brakes going along the start.
I think he got caught up with the 2 guys in the pits on the Delta time.
And the Delta
really
time
unfortunate. Really unfortunate.
But that means he's just lost 2 positions. And Aresi, I don't think he's picked for a fresh set of inters. So the 2 drivers ahead are going to be on fresher inters. And very, very odd circumstance there. But like you said, this, I think, top 6, 7, I think anyone in the points, really, there's too much to lose. But outside the top 10, it's just a why not? Literally, why not? You've got 2 laps. You're outside the points.
Big C, 42% worn.
Yeah,
Big C, 42% worn. So I would say that's not too bad, actually. With the safety car would probably go 2 more laps, unfortunately, due to the FIA on this game. They're very, very safety conscious in the virtual world. So I would say 42%. That'll probably go to around about, I don't know, 45, 46 at best. Callum on the safety car, you say. So with 2 laps remaining, that's not too bad. So if all guys are like that, I mean, we haven't seen, unfortunately, what the tyres are like. You mentioned it earlier. We'd love to see the top 3, but I guess they're not too different to Big C on the tyre wear there. Maybe a little bit more, because they've been fighting, but that's enough to take it to the end, really. So for them, too much to lose. So as we're just running through the order there, you can see iSuperscribe there. We haven't seen too much of him down the order outside the top 10, but there is your kind of top 7, top 8, really. Nervatank still leading the way, obviously under the safety car. We'll do another rundown. RDX team 2nd place. Ali K in the 2nd Mercedes in 3rd place. Obviously had a very, very unfortunate race in Australia and a good showing in Bahrain. Obviously that amazing race-long battle with Aresi, and so he's doing really great in 3rd place. Jamie from McLaren, the kind of lead sole flag for McLaren at the moment in 4th place. Jay Thorne, only sole flag for Red Bull. Aresi, very strange to see him not in the top 10, because he had such a great showing in both races. 2 2nd place positions, so consistent, so quite unfortunate for him in his 3rd race. Then you got Big C, Clarkey, Shelley, the 2 man cars with Wooly, and then RBOS here in 10th place. And we haven't seen too much of him either, but he's going to close up now, because I would imagine there's going to be a whole nother lap at least of a safety car, so he's going to be right up there. I would say, has he picked for a new set? I would imagine he has done.
I'm looking at the minimap at the minute. I've just been looking while she's speaking. A lot of the drivers that have picked for a new set of inters, they are quite far behind. And if the safety car just come in this lap, I can't read that language, but I still think it's still on the track, and the lights haven't gone out on the safety car at the moment. So I feel like we're going to have another lap. But if it hasn't, it's going to really annoy the people that have come into the pit lane and they don't catch the queue. That's going to basically slam the new inters strategy down the drain. But I think at the moment, looking at the top 3, I think they should be on the least 1 tyres. One, Noddy, he didn't show us his tyres, but we saw Clark there hovering 50%. Around the 50%. So actually thinking about it, if there wasn't the safety car, these intermediate tyres would have been pushed to the limit at the end of the Grand Prix. So this safety car has almost helped a lot of the drivers, especially the drivers that stopped incredibly early. Shelley comes to mind. I'd love to know what his tyres are on, who stopped very, very early on in the Grand Prix. But I think as we come around the final corner, look at the map. One day, Formula One, the Formula One game will be a bit more realistic, and they won't do 1,004 laps. But I'm really excited for this ending. I'm really
It's
excited.
going to be, well, we're going on to lap 26 now, so it's literally going to be lap 27, 28. It's going to be 2 laps, as you said, Callum, literally bang on with that guess. 2 laps of glory. And so we're sat here very much like the real-life commentators, just scratching our heads and thinking about what to see. I'm trying to think what Crofty would say at this point, Callum. You know, it's still looking wet. I can confirm it is still wet out there. I can confirm. In case you had any doubt in your mind, it is wet. I can confirm.
The rain just seems to be coming down at a reasonable amount. I don't think we're going to see. I don't see the track getting too wet for wets or anything like that.
No,
I don't think. No. I think it's a very constant light rain at the moment. But I think
as we focus on Ali K here, you know, I've already said it before, but you know, again, he could really make a good step up here on the restart. Same as Nardi X team, but I feel like Ali has more potential to make that better jump because Ali did stay behind that fight that entire time. So I think he may have the potential to have better tyre wear than Nardi X team. So therefore, he could maybe get a better jump on the restart of the safety car. So that could be pretty tasty. But at the same time, you just don't know about Nardi X team. You know, he's been an unknown this entire season. It's going to be unknown on this restart here. But as the safety car probably is going to come in this lap, you know, eventually we're going to see, well, we can see H Racing Green in 18th place, nowhere near the queue. He's just taking in the scenery at this point, Callum.
There is a problem there. There is a slight issue there.
Many problems have occurred here for the GP2 champions.
Will Ali K challenge, if he gets the opportunity, will he challenge the race lead?
Nervo Tank back up the pack so much to allow Ali K to get a good restart? I wonder.
Will he stay right on the back of the safety car?
The safety car is going to come in this lap, and so therefore Nervo Tank will be the one to control the pace. So we'll see. Looks like he's already slowing down now, so he's going to back up the pack a little bit. It's just about when he bolts, because that's going to be crucial. If he bolts after the final corner, that may favour Ali K quite a bit. Or if he bolts now, that may favour just him in his own race. We'll see. We'll have to see. But there's Nardi X team right behind, warming up the tyres. And he's going to be thinking many things. I have to think about Ali K behind me. I want to think about the car in front of me. That Mercedes car, my fellow countrymen. Obviously, both these Spaniards at the moment. It's a Spaniard 1-2, Callum, at the moment. So, you know, AOR C13, big rep up for Spain at the moment. 1-2 for them. But Ali K, let's see. Oh, looks like Novotank's bolted early on the traction zone of the final corner. So it looks like Ali K hasn't got the jump he probably wanted. Nardi X team neither. So pretty equal gap actually, Callum, between those three. And it looks like Jamie's probably actually most of all probably gained the most because obviously he concertinaed and closed up to Ali K. So Novotank went early on the traction zone and looks like no one actually really gained too much there as they go through turn 1 and then turn 2. So it's still Novotank, then Nardi X team, then Ali K. Jamie, is he any closer? I want to see the gap here. There we go. There's Jamie, and hasn't gained too much on the restart, but obviously considering where he was before the safety car, he'll be trying his best to push on and maybe try and do something in this race. We'll have to see, but at the moment, it's all constant at the moment, Callum, and now we're going on with RBOS, who I think may be on a fresh set of inters, so he's going to be really chasing right on the back. Oh my god, he's gone deep. He's narrowly missed the back of Wooly, and now Will Desimpale goes side by side towards the S section. This may be an absolutely awesome move round the outside in very tricky conditions. There goes the Force India round the outside, just about in the corner of your screen there, right hand side, ladies and gentlemen, and there goes Desimpale, and he's down the inside. But will the Renault do a switchback? I wonder. He's going to be very defensive, the Force India there, and he will keep 10th place for now.
Any time to make a mistake, it's not now when the field is all bunched up and he has dropped outside of the points, but I don't think Desimpale will hold that 10th place without a fight from behind. But very clever from Novotank to floor it on the traction zone, surprising the whole field. He can concentrate on getting the best possible traction, and he absolutely bolted a perfect restart. And as we've mentioned, Jamie, he is very close to Ali K. He's struggled on this restart so far, and he's actually started to drop back from the Williams driver of Nardi X team. So we might see some overtakes going into this hairpin at the moment. Jamie isn't close enough at the moment, but if we look a little bit further behind, all the cars, Concertina up, the Manor going very deep into the corner, but I think we're all holding position at the moment. But as we go on to the final lap of the Grand Prix, I think we're going to see still an awful lot of position changes, Aarava.
I think so, with Big C on this train of, we've got Clarkey, then Shelley, Wooly, two manners, and not too far behind is Desimpale. So here we go, on board with Shelley. He's going to make a move down the inside of Clarkey into turn 1. Very aggressive move, and gets it done beautifully there, actually. Completely has got the braking right, but then Clarkey's actually done the switchback, so very clever stuff from him as well. He's got much more worn tyres, though, compared to Shelley, so they go side by side. Beautiful stuff here, side by side still, and meanwhile Big C is going to revel in that because that's going to help him out. They still go side by side. Clarkey trying to get the best traction possible as they go into the end of Sector 1, on towards Sector 2. Will there maybe be a dive bomb move? Yes, there will be from the south, but they still go side by side, and it looks like Shelley's actually been pushed out there, and it looks like Willie will now come round the outside, and there's a position swap for the Manor. So the Manor car of Shelley tried to get one move, lost two.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And again, literally saying that any sort of positions, as we see, an awful lot of front wing damage to Shelley. He's going to drop out of the points, that front wing damage from that dive bomb from Clarkey. I'd like to see a replay of that dive bomb because we had quite a wide shot. But as we focus now back onto the podium positions, Jamie has got one chance to get past Ali K going down this back straight. It is going to literally be all or nothing. I don't know what the top two are like at the moment, first and second. I think both of them are very, very close.
May have this, Callum.
Yeah, I think
but Nardi team in second. He's still going to go defensive, Nardi, Novatank, to break the slipstream, but he doesn't need to. It's all calm. It's really his teammate that may find himself under pressure here. I want to try and see if Jamie's any closer as they go down the end. Oh my God! Nardi X team's gone very, very deep there. I can't see. He tried it all into the brake zone. Went very deep, but I want to see behind is, I think Ali K's just about kept it ahead of Jamie. Jamie's not had enough slipstream there, so they go through the final corner. It's going to be Novatank to take 3 out of 3 in Season 13. What a drive for Novatank, and what a drive it's been all season long so far. 3 out of 3, brilliant stuff, and it's going to be a 1-2 for the Spaniards there, for the Jim Racing Team clan there. For Nardi X team, a brilliant showing. The first time he's really shown his hand there in second place. As we look further down the order, this is H Racing Green defending from Ice Superscribe. I think this will be an Ice Superscribe trying to go around the outside, and H Racing Green is having none of it, and he just about oh my God! What on earth has gone there? Ice Superscribe, there has been a problem there, ladies and gentlemen. There's been a big problem there. And so there's H Racing going across the line, and that's been a very, very dramatic end for him, at least. And now we can see a replay here. So this is the replay of Shelley. Did Shelley make some contact with his team? I think at this point he's already lost a bit of his front wing, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's already lost it from a little bit of earlier contact, but Shelley was just going off the circuit. You can see the understeer that he got from that front wing damage, but a very big lunge from just going into that corner. Very, very surprising. Look at the rear tyres. H Racing Green has been struggling, and already contact at one point there, and then Super Scrub just decided that he liked that wall on the left-hand side.
I think he just, it looked like he just lost the will to live a little bit, Callum, there. Yeah. So after a very tense last few laps there, this is the running order now. Jim Novatank with, as I said, 3 out of 3, absolutely brilliant job there. Nardi X team second, and to round out the podium, Ali K does indeed get a great drive from what was 14th place, I think, on the grid, Callum, to get a brilliant podium. Jamie in 4th place there, Jay Thorne in 5th, Clarkey with 6th place. So both those drivers having a very, very quiet race. Big C in 7th place, Essen Pele in 8th, Wooly in 9th place, and round out the top 10 is Alex, who gets the jump over RBOS, who obviously fell back a little bit there, and obviously with that big fight with the 2 Manor cars there, only 1 Manor car in the end able to make it into that top 10.
Now looking at the bottom half of the field, RBOS not making it into the points, unfortunately. With Jim Aresi, we've said all race long, a very, very strange race for him, falling out of the points. Of Shelley, who made that early pit stop onto a set of intermediates, had to go onto another set of intermediates, find himself down in P13. RC Wallen, a very, very quiet race from him in P14. Fan, after incredible qualifying up in P4, drops to P15, a poor race from him. He'll want to bounce back next weekend. With Walsh, H Racing Green, who's been battling all the way up to the very end with I'm Low-Key and I Superscore. We actually got disqualified at the end of that Grand Prix. Very, very strange. He must have done something a little bit preposterous that the FIA did not like, but he ended the race in the wall without a front wing. Right,
so as we now go on then to the Drivers' Championship, this is what it means. Novatank, perfect scorecard so far this season. 75 points there out in first place. Aresi still manages to keep second place. Obviously, he's had two second places before, so still consistently reigns out for him against Ali K. But Ali K finally getting back into the kind of position, familiar territory where he wants to be, basically. In third place with 30 points. A lot of drivers making lots of gains there. Jamie, Nardi X team both up the order in 4th and 5th respectively. Alex down the order into 6th place now. Big C, the only one consistently right there in the middle, bang in the middle with 7th place there still from the previous round. Clarkey goes up the order with 8th place. Obviously, he had a really bad time in Bahrain, so bounces back. RBS and Shelley going down the order in 9th and 10th place there.
Bottom half of the championship is looking like this with Jay Thorne moving up to P11 after a solid race today. H Racing Green out of the points this race weekend, dropping down into 12th, with Walsh also dropping down into P13. Desempele probably goes above a lot of the other drivers below, moving all up to P14 with Wooly, Ferrari Fan, I'm Low-Key, RC Wallen and Big Shot Player all dropping down with I Super Scrub. is still not able to score any points so far in this season.
And so as we move on to the Constructors' Championship, then this is what it means. Mercedes still reigning out ahead. Probably, you got to say now at this stage, looking like the strongest pairing of the grid so far, with 105, the only team to break into 100, and more than half the point, double the points, I should say, than Red Bull Racing there in second place. But as I mentioned in earlier rounds, Callum, you know, Red Bull and Renault very, very close. I think that's going to be a fight that goes all season long there. And then you got McLaren, who have actually done a really great job, because you got to say, Jamie was a bit of unknown coming to this season. Age Racing Green, obviously the GPU champion, but coming from the lower tier down to the top, up to the top tier, then didn't really know where McLaren were going to be. But so far, so good, and really great stuff for them to be in fourth place. Williams got up the order. Obviously, we've had little kind of glimpses of you know, Wallen's pace at Bahrain qualifying, but finally Nardi team with that brilliant second place climbs up to 5th. Ferrari moved down to 6th. Sauber in 7th. Stay put in 7th there actually with Sauber, and then Manor moved down along with Haas to 8th and 9th, and Force India stay put in 10th place there. But that is the Constructors' Championship. But yet again, a great race, so topsy-turvy. This one was a very confusing race, really. I think it made for a great one. Really tense there at the end, especially with the top 3 there. But that has been another great round there for AOR Season 13 there. So we'll see you guys next time then, round number 4 at the Spanish Grand Prix. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one though. Be sure to hit that like button if you have. Let us know what you thought of that race in the comments below. Do get subscribed to the entire video making team. All links in the description there for the full credits. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time at the Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona to Catalunya, for the Spanish Grand Prix. Till then, goodbye.